Amanda with Straightsmile Solutions, straightsmilesolutions.com, and we're talking more about iTeros. How do you make money with your iTero? And I have yet to find anyone that bought an iTero that used my suggestions that didn't make money off their iTero. Everyone has succeeded with their iTero. How? Well, this is how you do it. You buy the iTero, and if you are a general dentist or a pediatric dentist, you scan every single patient in your practice. You don't ask them, would you like an ortho consult? Are you interested in an ortho consult? Can we do an ortho scan? No, you don't ask them that. You make the scan part of your standard of care, your SOP, your standard operating procedure. Every patient with teeth gets scanned. Why? There's a million reasons why. First of all, it's a great way to study the bite. It's a great way to study the occlusion. It's great risk management. It's great documentation. It's non-invasive. It's actually quicker than even taking a set of photos. So it's crazy fast if you have one. Yes, you have that $4 tip, but you know what? You can put your patient's name on it. You could store it, save it, create a library of tips, and then if you need it again, you already have it. So no big deal. If they ever need to get scanned for a crown or anything else, they already have. Yeah, just create a tip library. You know, it's really easy. I've seen people like tons of in a closet that you can store. But anyways, you scan them, and then you just open up a conversation. You open up and I've done plenty other videos on iTeros and incentive plans and getting your team motivated and everything like that. So I'm not going to go over any of that because I did that in a video in the last week. If you click through, you'll find it. But you just open up that conversation. You explain the why behind it. You explain how it can benefit not only their aesthetics, but you know, everyone ticks a different way. Some people are more aesthetically focused. Some people are more function focused. So you need to lightly explain the benefits in both, you know, how it would affect their function, how they can keep their teeth healthier for a lifetime, and then just lightly, it's just light information. Here's what we can do for you. Boom. If you ever want to get started, let us know. We've already got your scan on file. The scan is good. I usually say for 90 days. You can say 60. 60 is better, but pick a time, you know? And then that's that, you know? You archive it, you bank the scan, and then I recommend that, you know, you don't, not salesy, not pushy. You just lightly say, let us know if you're ever interested. We can go ahead and submit this for a Clincheck, so you can see a little bit more exactly how many aligners would be. I like the idea of having a flat fee, but if you need to have 2 fees, then have 2 fee structured. Never ever quote a fee until you're done optimizing the Clincheck, because you guys do not have the experience to do that. I have the experience to do that. I have eyes, I can look at it, photos, a scan, boom, and I already can tell you exactly how I'm gonna do it. Sometimes there's more than one option, right? About how many aligners it would be, et cetera, et cetera. If you're gonna have 2 price points, you know, like a full and a limited, you do not want to even tell them that they're a candidate for the limited until you've worked up the whole Clincheck and created the treatment plan, because a lot of times people are looking for shortcuts and looking for social 6, and then you bill out the limited, and then later once you start it, they don't like it. So you got to make sure that you have in writing a million different ways that this is only for these 6 teeth. If they change their mind and decide to do something else, or they're unsatisfied with that movement, it'll be a whole additional price. So that's the only thing I'm worried about whenever you have 2 price points. I personally prefer to have 1 set price point and just keep it on the lower end and just say, you know what, we just have 1 set price point for aligners. But the great thing is that, you know, we will make your case perfect, and we'll be with you until you're happy and all that. It just makes things so much easier when you don't have that stress of a limited amount of aligners. But anyways, I'm not going over that because I've made a million videos on that topic. Okay, let's talk about follow-ups. This is where most people drop the ball, is that they do exactly what I'm saying, and then they don't revisit it again for 6 months until the patient comes back, or 1 year, or whatever. And that's what you don't want to do, because patients forget. So I still recommend the 2-2-2 follow-up plan. 2 days later, and you can even, I mean, you have some idea if the patient's interested or not. If they seem like even a tiny bit interested, say, you know, we're gonna give you, is it okay if we give you a call in 2 days just to follow up, just to see if you have any questions? But usually we don't even have the Clincheck ready at the day of the scan, so that's why I like the idea of you scan it, you say, I'm gonna give you a call in 2 days, and you know, or 2 to 6 days, and we'll be able to show you a copy of your Clincheck if you're interested. So you can see, and you can export that to them. You could do a Zoom session and share it with them. It's just a really great idea. And then you can follow up in 2 weeks again, Just say, hey, remember we did that? Just wanted to see if you were interested, if you had any questions about your treatment plan. And then 2 months, just another light follow-up, just a friendly reminder. And then that's it. Then you just hit it on their regular recall visits, you know. That's why I kind of like the 222 plan, because that basically covers 60 days. After that, I'd say that Clincheck is no longer good. 60 days is probably a time when you'd want to rescan. And the cool thing is you've got these banked, right? So if you ever have a really slow day, if you have a slow production month, if you're trying to hit some type of KPIs, you can always have a contest. You can always create incentives to people who can reactivate perhaps an archive Clincheck or a Clincheck, you know, that wasn't from the last couple days, and who can get the most starts out of their archive Clinchecks in the last 60 days, and just call them up. Because I mean, by then you already optimized the Clinchecks. All you have to do is collect the money and hit go, open the contracts. So, you know, you don't have to see the patient again. So that's a great way to get starts, you know, without even having a butt in the chair. So, I mean, shoot, I know some ortho offices or even some general offices that were doing this during the pandemic when they were fully shut down, who had been doing this on every single patient, had banked them, and they just went back their last 60 to 90 days and they started calling patients. And people were like, yes, 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 yes. You know, you don't even have to come in. They would, and the way they would create it during COVID is they would make the first 5 aligners not attachmentless, you know, and they just mail it to them. And then, you know, eventually they come in and they do a refinement and put the attachments on once COVID was done. But you could totally do that. And I know some offices that were making $40,000, $50,000 a week just based off these old Clinchecks that they had archived without even getting a butt in the chair. So they made some ortho offices and some general offices that do ortho made more money during COVID than they ever did just going off this. So just an idea. But, you know, because you never know. I feel like you never know when things are going to get shut down again. We never thought it would happen, and it did. So that's another reason why it's really great to take scans. But anyways, hopefully that was helpful. 222 plan. All right, thanks.